Alright guys, welcome back. I'm picking up from the last episode. I just want to go over what we're going to be covering today. I got a few different things I'm going to encapsulate in this video. We're going to be installing the tail light, a new hand crank for the satellite receiver. I'm going to be digging into the cooling fan on the power supply. It's just not turning on. I'm going to make some of these videos a little shorter for you guys. I'm getting so much footage on each one of these subjects that I'm covering. I'm just having to edit so much out. I just want to be a little more descriptive about projects that I cover. Alright, let's get to it. So let's look into this power supply cooling fan. Oh, it's missing a screw. Now that's what your power supply looks like. There's all your 12 volt breakers, and then this will be your 120 volts. See this where you got your grounding bracket, your neutral bracket, and all your hot lines. Oh, looks like it's cut off. I better be careful. Let's take this apart. What I'm concerned about is this cooling fan. Whew. Milwaukee, baby. Dust come off of that. That power supply is pretty warm. I'm gonna see if I can fit my meter leads in there. I know you can't see very well. So the fan's not kicking on, but there's no voltage coming out of the supply side for the cooling fan. This is not a service manual. This just explains the different modes and the features of the power supply. There is 12 volts going to the fan right now. I'll try to plug it in again. Now we don't have voltage. Well, I don't know too much about these power supplies. I'll just have to get online and see if I can find any type of manual. I'm not sure if there's even anything that I could do to have that fan kick on at a lower temperature. I mean, it should kick on. It is hot. I'll have to go get my laser thermometer and shoot in there to show you guys the temperatures it's getting to. All I can say is it's getting hot. I would think that they would kick on. I found a manual for a different model, and it says automatic cooling fan. The cooling fan in the power center is incremental and is controlled by the current drawn out of the converter to the applied load. The onboard microprocessor increases fan speed as the total load increases and decreases fan speed as the load decreases. Unlike traditional temperature controlled fan, the load controlled fan provides better component cooling by avoiding temperature spikes, which can lead to premature component failure. So it has nothing to do with the temperature, it has to do with the voltage consumption. Even smaller voltage consumption over time can obviously get to a point to where it's too hot. So how would you combat that? I'm afraid of installing an override switch in line with the current voltage applied to the fan because I'm worried about it backfeeding into the power supply. Or I could add a secondary fan with its own 12 volt power supply. So it'd be like that. Yeah, there just wouldn't be enough room. Or you know what I could do is cut this off and add another fan on top of it and get rid of that. Just cut that trim off, add another fan on top of it with its own 12 volt power source. So that'll have its own thermal protection via voltage overload, and I'll just have to put like a little toggle switch or something on there. So let's get this tail light installed. Dirty. 1/4 inch. Got the junction up here just in case something goes wrong. I want to keep the old one for a spare as well. We finally got it. My switchboard that I'm going to use in combination with these LED neon rope lights. This switchboard requires a 112-volt voltage source, and then it'll run straight through off of each switch for a positive switch leg. I'm gonna be coming off of the battery. Then I've already gotten started here today. You see my tools laying around. The idea is I'm gonna end up putting it right there. If you can see, I've already got a hole down in between the heater. I'm gonna be using some 12 gauge. I know you can't see. Thread it up into this canvas hole. Alright. Alright. Don't forget your red devil. Professional. This is gonna go back to the battery. I know it's just a 12 gauge. It's solid copper. If I had stranded, I'd be using stranded. Let me show you guys what I did outside. I just found out the 12 volt LEDs I bought are actually 24 volts. This is a 24 volt transformer. I have nothing set up on this camper for 24 volts at all. That's going to destroy everything I was gonna do. I'm gonna run the battery supply anyways and hook up the switchboard and then probably temporarily just use this power supply. What I was showing before, I got these LED lights right here. I kind of just strung them out. I already got these Hilti straps right here. What I'm doing is, I'm just gonna put it on there loose for now. I put a few of these Hilti straps up already and I'll move down, temporarily strap this stuff up. These are the Hilti straps that I'm using, and then you just put a zip tie through them. I've been pre-drilling the holes first. And I'm gonna drill a hole right next to that. Don't forget the red devil. They didn't have it come up in a great spot. Frame is right there at an angle. Just came up right next to this one. Need a little bit better cable management. Those are just gonna connect to the batteries. I have a 12 volt voltage source back there. And then across the corners, I use lubricant to make sure the drilling goes smoother. I'm gonna put a couple more straps up and then that'll be it. All right, I got it all zipped up now and got the zip ties cut. Looks pretty good. Nothing's hanging. Good job. This is the controller that the lights came with. It's a RGB LED lights. It's got music sync too. I put a piece of Velcro on the back and I'm gonna put it next to these switches right here. It's time to add the switchboard. I already pre-decided where I want to put it, right down here. So I already kind of measured it out. I used a pencil to mark the outsides and then put little notches where I could put the inside cuts. Cut those out with my multi-tool. Did you guys hear me say oops while I was cutting? Woo! There you go. Is that crooked? I don't think so. That looks pretty straight. What do you guys think? Does that look level? My head sits on my shoulders a little crooked anyways. I won't be able to tell the difference. But it's on there. Comes with 4 screws. Now I don't have power hooked up to it yet. That's a good start. This is completely irrelevant to the project I have going on, but it rained last night. I left that window open yesterday. Tried to get some of the heat out of the camper. And that was a big mistake because I had water come down. It destroyed this countertop. It's just particle board. It's swelled up. Whenever we went camping last, I had water coming in through the roof vent. I had to jump up on the roof in the middle of the night, the tube of caulk, and just try to caulk up the outside of that roof vent. I guess I didn't seal it up good enough. And then it was pooling up water, and I didn't notice before, but that countertop got destroyed too. It's just particle board. They put the cheapest wood they possibly could inside this camper. I mean, as soon as that stuff gets wet, it soaks up water and it's instantly destroyed. There's absolutely no way to get that back but to replace it. That'll be another future project. I'll probably try to get a slab of wood milled, hopefully.
My husband fucked up a lot of things.
I fucked up the countertops and got them wet.
He will get more.
I already told them I was gonna make another video about replacing the countertop. Come with me. We're gonna go with the missus and show her the light.
Underneath, I saw already.
You saw?
Of course.
They're on?
Yeah.
No. Let's go see. We left the lights on. They're not very bright though. Oh yeah, and I did the blinds.
Yeah, at least one good job you did.
Oh. Another day working on the electrical. Just trying to do a couple more things after work. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the power supply cooling fan. Let me show you what I have so far. Previous clip, I told you guys, there's no thermal cut on for the power supply cooling fan. It just says in the manual that it'll eventually come on if there is enough voltage consumption or a power overload. It has nothing to do with the thermal temperature of the actual power supply. So what I did was I bought 2 of these fans on Amazon. I took one of them, I cut the ends off, I put a connector on either end, crimped it, and this is heat shrink on the end. It just shrinks up, and then I've got 2 of these little connectors. So what you do with these, you find a 12-volt voltage source, and then you come along and you pinch this on here, and then you crimp it down, and then you can take one of these and just plug it in and tap on the voltage. And then you just take this, I know my hands are dirty, I've been working on my truck, excuse me. You strip the wire back, you put that in there, crimp it with the crimper, and then you can take fire, and then that'll shrink down onto your wire. And that's what I put on those new cooling fans. I just wanted to explain what I did previously. I just don't have time to record everything that I'm doing, but I kind of want to keep little updates here and there. If you look closely, I put 2 of those crimp connectors on that wire, and that's like a little board that hides all your electrics. So I got those plugged in like that. So the idea is put this cover on like this and then mount that fan right there. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. I could either put it right there, trim off. I actually think I might do that. Is just put this right here, cut that trim off, and then mount it like that so it can open and close. Not a bad idea. Easy peasy. I'm gonna cut this off and see what I can get done with that. Here we go. Now you gotta flush mount. I'm gonna cut this back plate out so it can recess closer to that other secondary fan, and then mount the fan to this front plate. We'll have a little extra wire protruding through this cutout, and then the fan will move up and down with the cover itself so it'll close flushly. It's actually a little too thick. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna cut this. That multi-tool kind of melts the plastic, but I mean, it cuts it pretty well. I had to trim it out a little bit more, but if it's, now I'll be able to close that cover. It doesn't really close well to begin with. I'll fit it right there. I'll be able to drill holes out for it like that from the inside out, and then I can just mount it right to the cover. Oops. I left you guys out here. So this is kind of how it could go. I could cut that, it's got that little metal shield right there. I could cut that plastic out. It would probably allow for a little bit more airflow, but I'm just gonna leave it on there for now. Just rough end, technically it would go like this. That would mount like that, and then mount like that. That blows in. Boom. Too big. Oh, so nuts. It's a good idea. Let's try the other way. You know what that latch was not holding for? You know what? Let me take this off. Yeah, let me cut a little more off of that. I made a mess. All right, all right, all right. Perfect. I might have to replace that latch. But it turned out pretty good for the most part. Yeah, so air comes in through here and the hot air blows out through here. I think that was a good upgrade. I mean, I could very well just put a screw in there, or if I had longer screws, I could put one longer screw right there. It needs a new latch. That latch is just so flimsy. And then this part, it's just got little hooks on it, teeth. So when you push it on there, it's just supposed to grab, but it doesn't grab. I'll have to figure that out later on, and then maybe put a switch on it as well. I'll go to order one. I'm just gonna close this episode out. I wanna thank all of you that have been watching, sticking by. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on all the other improvements we make. We've got another camping trip coming up. I'll try to document that as well. It's just gonna be me and the missus this time. Thank all of you that have been watching, sticking with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. All right, bye. This is how I'm gonna keep it closed for now. Just a piece of Velcro. It ain't bad, but I'll have to get back to it and figure out what I want to do about it. But it's working for sure. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.